speaker, Kimberly Reed Carmichael. There are many comments I'd like to say about this extraordinary graduate, but I promise to keep my introduction brief. I can read you a list of Kimberly's accomplishments and experiences which are quite impressive. Instead, I'd like to talk to you about who she is as a student scholar and compassionate leader. Kimberly's journey at Mason has been about preparing to be a change agent. I had the good fortune of having Kim in my course this semester and witnessed her thirst for learning. What was unusual was her devotion to others' learning experiences, giving generously of herself. She inspired her peers to think outside the box while setting the bar high for them to excel, which they did. As no surprise, Kim emerged as a leader in her group who was deeply respected by her peers. Kim is committed to positively influencing the well-being of others by advancing human rights using a social justice lens. While at Mason, she also worked with nonprofit organizations, including a halfway house for women who were previously incarcerated. Using knowledge gained in her social innovation and enterprise concentration, Kimberly will be pursuing a master's degree where she can continue exploring the intersections of leadership, organizational change, and well-being. Our workplaces need and are calling for more college graduates like Kimberly who sees this work as a greater calling in her life. It's not always common when a student positively transforms a professor's experience inside the classroom, but Kimberly was that student for me. She is a constant reminder of why I pursued a lifelong career in higher education. So please join me in congratulating this year's Student Convocation Speaker, Kimberly Carmichael.
Love you too. Good morning, New Century College graduates, faculty, family, and friends. I'm honored to be speaking to you this morning. New Century College began an amazing journey for each of us. I am proud to stand here as a New Century College graduate as we consider how to take the NCC philosophy and apply it to what comes next. When I think of the NCC philosophy, I've always had trouble putting it into words until one of my professors shared this parable. This is called the starfish parable. While walking along the beach, an elderly gentleman saw someone in the distance leaning down, picking something up, and throwing it into the ocean. As he walked closer, he noticed that the figure was that of a young man, picking up starfish one by one and tossing them gently back over the breaking waves. He came closer and called out, "Good morning. May I ask what it is that you're doing?" The old man smiled and said, The young man replied, "Throwing starfish into the ocean." The old man smiled and said, "I must ask then, why are you throwing starfish into the ocean?" The young man replied, "The sun is up and the tide is out. If I don't throw them in, they'll die." The elderly man commented, "But young man, do you not realize that there are miles and miles of beach and there are starfish along every mile? You can't possibly make a difference." The young man listened politely, then he bent down, picked up another starfish and threw it back into the ocean past the breaking waves and said, "It made a difference for that one." The same professor, Dr. Graziella McCarran, is the person who taught me how to truly embrace the NCC philosophy. Through her course on ethics and leadership, I learned that a leader does not have to be the strongest or the loudest to make a difference. She taught me that even in scenarios where extremely hard decisions need to be made, you can still be ethical and true to yourself. I believe every person is of value and their contributions are important. Involvement in a positive life experience is extremely powerful. Through compassion and understanding, we can start to make a difference. This has become my passion. This semester, I was able to put my passion into action. I took a course with Dr. Suzanne Scott Constantine called Creativity for Social Action Through Transformation. In this course, I spent time at a halfway house for women who were previously incarcerated. Suzanne has reaffirmed the simple act of kindness towards another human being is something that should never be taken for granted. I also explored positive leadership and the importance of collaboration in my course with Dr. Nance Lucas. Throughout the semester, Dr. Lucas has mentored and helped me cultivate my potential as a leader who embraces compassion and positivity. Because of her kindness and guidance, I will be pursuing my master's degree this coming fall in organizational development and knowledge management. But back to the parable, as NCC students, we are the ones picking up the starfish and throwing them back into the ocean. We are the students who, in the face of overwhelming odds, are able to think critically, innovate, and create change. NCC has given us opportunities to dive deep into ourselves, to reflect on powerful things, to embrace our strengths and not be faulted for our weaknesses. Our professors challenged us with hard topics such as human rights and social justice. We have topics such as sustainability and mindfulness and learn to show compassion not only to ourselves but to the world around us. NCC has also challenged us to see the world through a new lens. We can see it for all of its beauty and diversity of people, cultures, and environments, but we are also able to see where change and innovation are desperately needed. We have been given the opportunity to learn through experience. NCC requires its students to physically experience learning, as opposed to simply sitting in front of a computer using a search engine. Many of us have been to museums, nonprofits, women's shelters, or even prisons. We have firsthand knowledge of the challenges and opportunities facing society. These opportunities are our starfish. Though at times we've been challenged with emotionally draining truths or energized with possibilities, we have always been empowered. Our professors have constantly encouraged us to celebrate our individuality, but it didn't end there. They challenged us to collaborate in diverse groupings so that we may learn from one another. The diversity in our graduating class has only enhanced this journey for each one of us. We are the innovation and compassion that will drive change. We will bring new ideas, talents, strengths, and an unwavering hunger to continue to learn and constantly improve. Anne Frank said, "How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world." So let's not wait. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly, for your thoughtful words. It is now my pleasure to welcome New Century College's common